Hi, Scott Lackman from 450 TV. Today, viewers, we've got the opportunity to talk everything about finance. And with me, Kaitlyn Jolly from Loan Market. G'day, Kaitlyn.
Hi, Scott.
Thanks for joining us, because what we want to do on 450 TV is we try to spread some information around our wider community on all topics. It might be some causes or some charities, or even like today, we're talking about some business matters. And you're fresh on the finance scene. We've met recently, and I'm excited just to get some general information that hopefully our viewers can use. So firstly, before all that finance stuff, who is Kaitlyn Jolly?
Well, Scott, my background is in financial planning. You know, as a financial planning, you do budgeting, super, insurance and investments. But I grew up in Caboolture, and growing up, I had a real passion for property. And as I grew older, that passion turned into a love of property investing.
So you've got actually an investment in Caboolture?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
yes.
And growing up around here, what school did you go to?
I went to Tallawong.
Okay.
Yeah. And St. Peter's as a primary school.
Oh, St. Peter's, great local school.
Yeah.
So you grew up around the area. You love property. You obviously love money, or counting money. Maybe better if it was your money, but money. The area of Caboolture, great place to grow up.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We grew up on acreage. And it was really lovely.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's get into business. Loan Market. It's a franchise of lending. Can you give us a bit of a history about who is Loan Market?
Yeah, of course. So Loan Market is the largest privately owned mortgage broking business in Australia. Loan Market, I work with Loan Market, and they have over 35 banks and lenders. So the big ones that you would know, like Commonwealth, and the smaller specialist lenders like Pepper Money. And we work with our clients to find the best solutions for them.
I can imagine having access to such a variety of lenders. These days it's a real specialty, like someone might need business lending or personal, or maybe debt consolidation. Having access to that amount of lenders, that's where you try to narrow down the best, the best product for a client?
Yeah, well, everybody's situation is unique. So what's right for one person won't be right for the next. So with so many lenders, you can look at each policy and determine which one's right, and then try and get the product that suits them.
Big organisation. Your head office is Chermside, but you live locally, and you have created the business locally for Loan Market Caboolture?
Yeah, so I have created Loan Market Caboolture to service the Caboolture area.
So tell us, interest rates on hold, what does that mean?
So it just means that interest rates are expected to stay the same for some time. There's going to be a lot of stability. So as you might know, Scott, a little while ago, APRA cut investment lending to limit the amount of property investments. Banks are now charging based on risk. So if you have a person A and person B, and person A has a stable job and they've got a deposit and they've got low debts, then that means that the bank will look at them more favourably, and they may get a better deal simply because they're more safer. They're safer.
Yeah, the risk isn't as great. And we're talking off camera, just because interest rates are on hold, along that line of what you're suggesting, everyone has different borrowing capacities and different risks. I guess those interest rates can fluctuate.
Yes, they can fluctuate.
So Kaitlyn, interest rates, although they're on hold, they can still fluctuate based on individuals and maybe risks associated. Do banks or lenders look at certain locations or suburbs? So, for instance, if I lived in Caboolture, do I get judged on where I live if I'm going for a loan?
No. Caboolture, the banks view Caboolture very favourably. If you were to compare Caboolture to, say, Chermside, you know how Chermside at the moment is experiencing a lot of units? So there's a lot of banks no longer servicing Chermside, just for at the moment, because it's not seen as favourable.
Okay. And do
Yeah.
you think that's just there's a flood on the market, that
Yeah.
there's maybe a risk involved there of maybe an oversupply of units, so they're a little bit wary about lending to an investor, whereas for Caboolture, again, the example is we're growing, we're emerging, there's good infrastructure coming to town. As a bank, you'd see that as positive.
Yeah, yeah, it's very positive.
I know you lend money to all different facets,
Yeah.
as we said before, business, machinery, personal debt consolidation. Do you have experience in first home buyers?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And with first home buyers, let's see if we can help our viewers. What would be a tip or some suggestions if you were looking to buy your first home?
If you were looking to buy your first home, the first thing you need to do is you got to know where your money's going. You have to have a budget, and it's never been simpler. So you can either write it down on a piece of paper and manually go through it, or you can just download an app. But that's the first step. And then the next step is you got to have a deposit of some sort. So essentially what you need as a minimum is 5% plus purchasing costs. So purchasing costs would be things like conveyancing, building and pest, and maybe if you hire a removalist. So that's about 8% of the purchase price would be minimum. Anywhere between 10 and 20% is ideal though. Yeah.
And let's say I'm struggling to get a large deposit. Does the bank take into account that I've been renting a property for a few years, and I'm regular with my weekly rent repayments? Does that show as a part of savings?
Yes, it does. Yeah, so the banks will view that as genuine savings.
I know as part of our interview today we're trying to assist our community and provide some finance information.
Yeah.
However, we can't give financial advice, we can only give direction.
Yeah.
What would be a closing comment for you of someone maybe spinning around in circles, not quite knowing where they are with their money?
Yeah, if you've got existing debt and it's getting a little overwhelming, you're not really sure where to start, or you just need to you can give me a call.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to help wherever I can.
All right, lovely.
Yeah.
What we'll do, we'll have Kaitlyn's contact details after this video, and I'd suggest reach out. I know a little bit shy on camera today, but that's okay. We all are, but I know behind the scenes you're brilliant at what you do with your lending, and you're doing great things with Loan Market Caboolture. So don't be afraid. Shout out to Kaitlyn, and yeah, hopefully you can help.